Alright, so why don't y'all go ahead and do the warm-up, pause the video, and I will show you that answer in just a second. So go ahead and pause it. Alright, so here are your answers. Angle T is equal to 103. Little t is 5.768. And B is 18.188. Notice that for T I put the equal sign because there was no rounding involved here. T is exactly 103. But for T and B, little t and little b, I had to round this answer, so that's why you see a little squiggle here. That means that's approximately 5.768. And little b is approximately 18.188. If you have to round, you're giving an approximation. Whereas when you don't round, you're giving an exact answer, so then you can use the equal sign. Okay? All right, so what we're doing today is we're actually talking about oblique triangle areas. What an oblique triangle is just a triangle that doesn't have a right angle. So actually we've been talking about oblique triangles all week long. Everything we've done has been an oblique triangle because we didn't use right angles. So if you think about area of triangles, you've been doing area of triangles for as long as you've known, and you've always said area equals 1/2 base times height, but that only works if there's a right angle. And so that's why we have to have a new formula, because we're talking about not a right angle. So this is the new formula that you have. I don't really recommend memorizing the formula as it's stated here. Instead, think about what is being said. So it's 1/2 BC sine A. So here's little b, that's a side. Here's little c, that's another side. And then it gives you to use angle A. So that's the angle, and I call that the included angle. So what I mean by the included angle is that the included angle is the angle in which you have the side and the side, and then the angle that it makes. So that's what's really important. It doesn't matter what side you use. What matters is that you use the angle that's between the two sides. Okay? So if you look at example 1, that's the perfect example to show you an included angle, because the included angle here, so don't even pay attention to which sides it's giving you. If you just look at it, it's giving me this side and this side. You don't even have to label them, but just pay attention to the side. So it's this side and it's this side. And it also gives you that included angle. That's what the included angle is it's the angle between the two sides. So this is exactly how I want it to be for my formula. Okay, so since I already have everything I need, I'm going to go ahead and start. So I have area equals (1/2) side, which is 13, side, which is 15, sine of the included angle, which is 71. In fact, I really suggest that you come up here, and you don't have to cross this off or anything, but this isn't really what I think of. When I say it in my head, that's what I say, is I say area equals 1/2 side, side. It doesn't matter what two sides you choose, but after you choose those two sides, you have to include sine of the included angle. That's how I've memorized the formula. Not with the A's and B's. It doesn't matter what the letters are. It's that you use the included angle. All right, so anyways, let's go on to example 1. So I've already filled it all in. And so if you type that into your calculator, make sure you're in degrees, you get that the area is approximately 92.188. All right, so for example 2, I think for area problems, it's really important for you to draw the triangle, because otherwise it's hard for you to see what the included angle is. All right, so H is 5, J is 11, and P is 7. So in this problem, if you notice, it gives you all 3 sides but no angle, which is not good for our formula of area, because our area formula needs a side. So it's 1/2 side, side, sine of the included angle. So I don't have an angle. So we need to find an angle before we can really start. And you do get to pick whatever angle that you want, because after you pick that angle, then you know what 2 sides you're going to pick. So let's just say you chose to find angle H. Again, it doesn't matter. I just am randomly choosing one. So if I'm going to use angle H, then that's going to tell me what 2 sides I'm going to use down here. But for now, let's just worry about finding angle H. So we're going to find angle H. Well, how am I going to be able to find angle H? Well, I've learned law of sines and law of cosines. So hopefully you can think about which one of those is the appropriate formula to use right now. You can use the law of sines if you have the angle and the side. But I don't have the angle. If I had the angle, I wouldn't have to be doing what I'm doing right now. That means I must be using the law of cosines, which is good. We haven't done that one in a couple of days. So h squared equals p squared plus j squared minus 2pj cosine h. So 5 squared equals 7 squared plus 11 squared minus 2, 7, 11 cosine h. So this is 25, and this makes 170 minus 154 cosine h. So I need to subtract that 170 here. And so now I have negative 145 equals negative 154 cosine h. I need a little bit more room here. Of course, it deleted everything. Okay, so my next step is to divide by negative 154. So I get negative 145 over negative 154 equals cosine h. If you want to drop the 2 negatives, you can, but you don't have to because it's just going to be on the calculator. So cosine inverse. So h equals cosine inverse of negative 145 over negative 154. And we get that h is approximately, so h is about 19.6 dot dot dot. It really doesn't matter what h is, because you do not want to use 19.6. You want to use that stored function. So you're going to store that on your calculator. So if you don't know how to store, this is kind of hard for me to explain right now without looking at a calculator, but look at your calculator. Above the on button, you see STO. So if you push that button, then it says answer and an arrow. So now you can store that as an H. So look at the top of your calculator. Find where it says alpha. My calculator is a green button. It says alpha. Push that. And now look at all the letters on your calculator. My H is the exponent button. Above the divide button is H. And so now that's going to store that as your H. And that's going to become really, really handy. All right, so if that doesn't make sense, you might be able to figure it out with second A&S. It's going to be a little bit harder. You're going to want to use that store function, so you might want to come in and see me or see your teacher to show you that store function, because it's really handy. All right, but we're doing area equals 1/2. All right, so before you just start filling in the numbers, really make sure that you fill in the correct numbers. Remember that we found angle H. If this is the angle that I found, you have to use the appropriate two sides. So you have to use this side and this side, because those are the side with the included angle. So I have to use 7 and 11, and then sine of h. So area is approximately, so if you type this into your calculator, you should get, it is approximately 12.969. If you're not getting that, you may not be storing it correctly, or you may not be doing something else, but it's just typing in this using the letter H, alpha H right here, and you should be able to get it. All right, so if y'all do the now you try, then I'll come up or tell you what the answer is. Let's go ahead and pause it. All right, so I get the answer is 23.419.